What's going on, YouTube? It's your Uncle Sham here with Master of None, covering a real interesting news story today. Out of New Orleans, a young man named Antoine Massey was one of the 12 inmates that escaped from the prison out there. He dropped a video on Instagram today just talking about what's going on with his case. And it's a really, really interesting scenario. So what I want to do today is just react to my man Anton Daniel, one of my favorite content creators, covering this story. So we're gonna see what he has to say. So I'm gonna just play and react to Anton's reaction and provide a little bit of my own commentary, and let's just kind of see what this guy is saying about what's going on with his case. All right, y'all, let's tap in.
I'm one of the ones that was let out of the GC. What I want to talk about today is for.
Let me just say he's been real clear about the fact that he's saying he was let out, not that he escaped. He's saying that he was let out. So I don't know what any of the other 11 dudes are saying, if they got that same narrative that they were let out of prison as opposed to escaping. But let out is very particular.
As far as why I was in Orleans Parish Jail, I was in custody for almost 8 months. All right, 6 months, something like that. I was in there for theft of a motor vehicle and domestic abuse involving strangulation. That's what I was in Orleans Parish for. Okay, but before I was in Orleans Parish, I was in a jail called St. Tammany Detention Center. All right, St. Tammany Jail here in St. Tammany Parish. There's two different parishes, Orleans and St. Tammany. Okay, today what I want to talk about is that I was on second-degree kidnapping, second-degree rape, domestic abuse, battery involving strangulation, domestic abuse, battery, violation of protective order, right? On this woman right here, her name is Diamond White. That's her name. This is a district attorney drop form right here. And she's not a child. She's an adult, a full adult. I was dating this woman. This is a legalized affidavit saying all allegations against me is false. You hear me? All allegations against me is false. I was nowhere around her or none of that. During the timing of the date, which was November the 10th of 2024. Okay, so
He should have held that paperwork still so people could get a close up and kind of read what it says. But I get it. He's just trying to get the information out. But I wonder what the details of the case are.
I was in St. Tammany, right, and I was on a regular domestic charge, right. So they put a parole hold on me because I was on a domestic charge. So with that being said, is that once that occurred, and the charges was refused or whatever, they shipped me to Orleans Parish where I had more open charges, was the theft of a motor vehicle and the domestic abuse, battery, involving strangulation. So once I got in Orleans Parish Jail, all right, I have from the district attorney's office, this woman who they say that I initially raped in another parish and in Orleans Parish, the same woman here. It's not different females, it's the same grown woman, not a child, a grown woman. Okay, she did the same thing in Orleans Parish, right? Correct. I'm about to show you how the system is corrupted. Okay, she did this, right? Saying all allegations against me is false, and she even saying it. You know, she let them know the truth that I never did this to her. I never hit her. I was nowhere around her. Nothing. She got mad and thought that I was dealing with another woman. That's why she did what she did to me. You know what I'm saying?
Two things. System is corrupt. Be careful who you keep company with. These women will absolutely ruin your life for life.
If this man is going through all of this because of a scornful woman, that's wild. Talking about strangulation and all of that. And then he keeps saying she was an adult, not a child. I don't recall, at least at the beginning of the video, if he said something about child abuse or something like that. You know, sometimes they'll just throw some charges in there just to make sure something stick.
Another thing too, once I got into Orleans Parish, I was there for like a month or something like that. Okay, a lot went on as that time progressed. Okay, if you was an innocent person and you know the judges and DA know that this person is saying that all the charges that you're on that you did not do, why was you still in jail? Louisiana have the highest incarceration rate in the world.
Good question. He's saying that he was locked up for 6 to 8 months or something like that. Why would you still be in jail if the person that they're saying you did this stuff to is saying that you didn't do it? Right? I know sometimes the state will pick up the case, but if she's saying just flat out that it didn't happen, why is he sitting in jail for 6 to 8 months? He's saying it's because the state of Louisiana is corrupt and they got the highest incarceration rate. And so they like to have bodies sitting in those facilities.
Black people away. Yes. At the end of the day, in my younger life, I'm not gonna lie, I was causing problems. I was young. My daddy got killed when I was 7 years old. My mom had to raise 4 children by herself, so I had to find a way to try to help my mother. You feel what I'm saying? But as time went on, the person that I once was, I'm not that person today. That is not who I am. I have a 3-year-old son. I have an 18-year-old daughter that graduated yesterday, supposed to be. At the end of the day, that people don't understand that they see that I'm on the names. I have a heart. People that know me know that at the end of the day, I am a good person. So I'm asking for help from the world, from Meek Mills, Lil Wayne, Young Boy,
Why do people always name a bunch of rappers? Why that's a bigger problem, and I'm gonna discuss this and I'm gonna deep dive a lot more into this on the Millionaire Morning Show. But why is it that whenever people are looking for help, they always look to entertainers and rappers or they look to popular figures? This just shows that we are broken as a culture. And yes, I think that a bigger conversation needs to be had about the incarceration. We're going to talk about it on the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm going to get my opinions off on After Hours tonight. But we only look to entertainers in order to try to have a conversation about how we need to reform change. It's crazy. They would probably still be saying Jay-Z if Jay-Z wasn't, his character wasn't assassinated from, these fake lawsuits.
I feel like that's not a bad thing for him to be mentioning Meek Mill's name, who went through the system and and had a judge who had a vendetta against him, and now he's talking about he wants to reform the criminal justice system. So I think Meek Mill is a good person. Somebody like Kim Kardashian, who has said that they want to help to reform the justice system. Plus, if you go out and get some no-name lawyer, like, it's great to have representation, but for a case like this specifically, he needs the court of public opinion on his side, because it sounds like what he's saying is plausible, right? But he needs the court of public opinion. So to get a celebrity behind you who has a louder microphone and a bigger platform could work in his favor. I'm pretty sure that this case is on Meek Mill's radar. I'm pretty sure this case is on the radar of some of these celebrities, rappers that he's reaching out to. And if he can get one of them to speak up for him, then he has a much better chance of getting a lawyer who may have more clout and magnetism to pick up his case, which would give him a fighting chance. And then the reality is, what do you do, right? Like, if you're being accused of something that you know you're innocent of, should you fight it? He's saying that he wasn't given a lawyer right now. Obviously, that goes against the Constitution, but stranger things have happened. So if you don't have representation, the state is trying to railroad you. You only get one life, right? If they leave the back door open, do you run out the back door and then try to do what he's doing, fight the system using the internet and while trying to keep your head down? Or do you just roll over and let them take your life away from you? That's really the question. For other reasons, Black people look into entertainers and athletes, as community leaders. There's an issue there. But in his particular case, I kind of feel like it's his best shot at some sort of justice is to get somebody with a microphone louder than just a small time lawyer to kind of try to back him up.
So I'm asking for these people. I couldn't even get a lawyer. I couldn't even afford a lawyer to prove my innocence. Right. While I was in All News Parish jail, they say that I broke out. I didn't break out. I was let out. My name is Antoine Massey. The guy who said that I threatened him with a shank, the maintenance guy, how could I threaten you with a shank? You can't come around me. You're a maintenance. You cannot come on the tills without a deputy being behind you. Because if they just let you on the till, you could be persuaded to bring drugs or anything like that nature. So how can I threaten you to jail you? And why you didn't notify the people, the police?
I agree.
That if I did threaten you, you never did that. Like,
I ain't never been to prison, but it feels like, you can't just have regular civilians walking around on tiers with criminals that have life sentences and whatnot, not only for their safety, but for fear of coercion. And being coerced into bringing something like drugs or whatever it is into the facility. I don't know, man. What he's saying sounds plausible to me.
Like, you flat out lied on me. Sterling flat out lied on me. And I want to let the media know that from the straight tattoos on my face and things of that nature, of course they're going to believe Sterling. You know what I'm saying? I never told Sterling nothing. I'm willing to take a lie detector test and everything behind that. But that's another subject. Orleans Parish is one of the corruptest jails. That in St. Tammany Parish is the corruptest jails in the state of Louisiana. Why was I even incarcerated with a woman saying that this never happened? This is this woman's name.
Good
This is the
question.
charge, domestic abuse discrimination. This is about the shit in St. Tammany. Why would I, in Orleans Parish, why was I even in jail? That's what I'm trying to show y'all. That's why I left the jail.
I believe him, honestly. And I'm conflicted about the whole breakout situation. Now, I know that he probably, listen, I believe that he's telling the truth on every single one of these things. The question that we have to ask ourselves is, do we reform the justice system? How do we get these corrupted officials up out of there? That's A. And then B, how do you deal with a situation where he's seemingly innocent, but at the same time he broke out of jail? I don't have the answer to that. I think
Or
that's
was
a
let
deeper
out.
conversation.
They have a lot more brothers that's innocent, just like me, that's trying to prove they're innocent. That's why they ran. Jason Williams, the sheriff, Susan Hudson, these people are corrupted. These people was talking to St. Tammany and telling St. Tammany they gonna sentence me behind this, and telling St. Tammany if they can't get me, St. Tammany gonna get me. You see what I'm saying? Behind a woman that's a grown adult that never stated that I ever raped her. They have a detective that's over the case, that's trying to pursue charges on me because of my prior history. Who I was in the past is not who I am today. So I'm asking for media. I don't even have a lawyer to help me. I'm asking for help. That's why I ran. You feel me? I'm a grown man. I have kids. I have a mother. I have a baby mother, a child, my children mother. Like it's a lot going on. And that's why I ran. I need help. You feel what I'm saying? Orleans Parish and St. Tammany is one of the corruptest parishes in the world. And I'm asking for help. There's a lot of corruption. There's killings, all type of stuff going on, and they covering it up. They don't care about nothing in the state of Louisiana.
Let me just say, somebody's helping him, because he sure didn't go to Savers and get that sign in the back that says kitchen. So if you're helping this man out, you better be careful, because they will put you in jail. They've locked up a bunch of people around these inmates that escaped that prison. It's a lot of people, 15, 20 people that's in jail right now because those dudes got out and they helped, hide them for a night or a couple of nights or whatever it is. So he looked like he in a nice, comfortable location. But whoever it is helping him, you better be careful.
This is something that needs to go under a federal investigation. What's going on? How they handling cases? Why Antoine Massey was in jail if the woman, the victim, the wrong woman, not a child, the wrong woman stated that he never raped her, he never beat her, he was nowhere in her presence. This is the affidavits on the date right here. This is the drop form from the district attorney office. This woman did this. I didn't do this. Look, it's legally dated. So I'm asking please for help. Young boy, Meek Mills, people, LBL, you know what I'm saying? People that been through the system that know it's corrupt. Lil Wayne, Donald Trump, please, I'm asking for help. You know what I'm saying? When I get back in custody, I'm asking y'all please to come help. You feel what I'm saying? I'm asking the world.
You already know he's going back. You already know he's going back.
None of that. I'm a good person. I am a father that want to be in my children's life. You know what I'm saying? I want to let the younger youth know that going down the route of trying to be a street person is not the route. That's what type of person I am. Yes, I was lied on. They made certain lie on me. All the guys they picked me for him to lie on. I'm not saying Sterling a bad guy, but why did you pick me to lie on, bro?
He gonna wind up getting a good lawyer.
Sterling. I don't know why they picked me for him to lie on, but I never threatened Sterling ever. How could I threaten Sterling or hurt Sterling? He cannot come on a tip with me without a deputy being present. My name is Antoine Massey. I'm asking for help.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, I agree with Anton. I believe him too. I think it's not beyond the pale. It's not even hard to believe that these states are out here doing this, allowing, people to be thrown in jail for the rest of their lives and knowing that they're innocent. So hopefully, man, this dude gets some representation and he'll get his opportunity to have another day in court where he can, really speak to what happened to him with his case. So I'm going to continue to follow the story and we'll see what happens next. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.